Today we're going to be taking a quick look at the expansion for one of my favorite two-player games, Omen: A Reign of War. I'm not going to talk about how you play the game, so if you're unfamiliar with Omen, you may want to see my review of that game before looking at this one. So in this quick look, I'm just going to be taking a look, I'm just going to be talking about a few of the new units and how Shattered Aegis affects the game overall. So first off, there's a brand new status effect in Shattered Aegis. Some of the new units have the ability to enrage another non-beast unit. When a unit is enraged, it is flipped over and it becomes a beast with a strength of 4, but it loses all of its other abilities. And at the end of the offering step, an enraged unit's owner can turn their unit face up again. So this means that you can enrage not only your own units, but your opponent's units as well. And they'll have to wait till the end of their next turn to flip their unit back to normal. So this can really come in handy protecting you from some of the nasty business the new oracles can dish out. If you're like me, you've graduated from using the random draw pile to either drafting or pre-making specialized decks before you play. As more units are added to the game, the pile of cards is only going to get bigger, and the game just works so much better when you have a custom deck with cards that work well together. The first units we'll look at are the new oracles. There are 4 new oracles in Shattered Aegis, and some of them are vastly different from what came in the base set. One of the most notable is the Gut Augur. Now you'll remember most oracles in the base set gave the owner either cards or coins, and a bonus if they can find another oracle with 1 card draw. Now, that was a good way to rack up coins, and it was an efficient oracle deck could really control the flow of money in the game. Now with the Gut Augur's Disgust ability, you'll be able to make your opponent discard 1 card every important step. Now that means if you have all 3 of them out at the same time, you can cripple your opponent's hand and possibly even accomplish 2 feats in 1 turn. And if you pair that with the Marrow Diviner, which makes them lose a coin as well, your deck will constantly pester your opponent and put them way behind you in available moves. Pair those with the Mesmerizing Harpy and Scarred Minotaur from the base set, and you know what, on second thought, don't do that unless you like playing solo, because the person you use that deck against will never play you again. Alright, let's look at the beast next. As with the oracles, there are 4 new units, one of which is probably the most infamous card in the whole set. But first, let me talk about the Cloud of Furies. This card is a bit odd, to be honest, and whenever someone skims through the cards to check out the new units, I can always tell when they see the Cloud of Furies, because I usually hear an audible, "What?" This card lets you search the deck to find the other 2 Cloud of Furies and put them in your hand, and it's all for 1 coin. So this beast ability can be useful in trying to accomplish Artemis' feat, but I think pretty much only the first time you draw it, because if there are any in your discard pile, you may be better off just placing it in a city. Next is the Fortuitous Dryad. Now, take a second to read this card's ability. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about this card other than, dude. But all joking aside, this can be a powerhouse in the right deck. And even though it may seem too powerful, I've never found it to be a game breaker. And the initial shock of the card wears off a bit when you see that there always seems to be ways to counter pretty much every card. So let's look at the soldiers next, and there are more soldiers than any other unit, and they have 4 cards per unit, so they're the bulk of the deck, and basically they're your deck's backbone. So here you have your units that can enrage other units. You have units that can give you ways to extend a turn, which is nice, by drawing cards or coins. I like those a lot, actually. And you have units that will annoy the heck out of your opponents by constantly poking at them. So one of my new favorites is the Cowl-clad Prowler. Now this unit not only lets you draw a card, it makes your opponent discard a card, and they also have to give you 1 coin. So I like it. It's aggressive. It's mean. It's my kind of card. So the Mass Surrogate is the card type that I think the game needed, actually. And it's a copycat card. And it lets you steal an opposing unit's ability. Now this is very handy, especially if your opponent happens to play a card that you wish you would have drawn in the draft. So I'm going to stop here because I don't want to spoil all of the units, because you're going to have fun going through them and making your own decks. But needless to say, I really enjoy playing Omen, and this expansion makes the game so much deeper. So if you're a fan of Omen, pick up Shattered Aegis immediately. And if you haven't tried Omen yet, what are you waiting for?